I've said it before and I'll say it again. The Observer is one of the best blocks in Minecraft, but I feel like some of you out there potentially don't know all of the crazy things that this thing is capable of. So today I'm going to show you some tips and tricks. Observers can detect all different types of block updates. It's not just blocks being placed or removed, it's things like redstone being powered, or soil being tilled, or droppers and hoppers being powered, and we can actually use this to our advantage. So for example, over here on the left hand side we've got the cheap one, and on the right hand side we've got the slightly more expensive one. What happens is, when we hit this button we power this dropper, which the Observer detects and then gives an output, powering this block which powers this dropper, which the Observer detects, and it sends that redstone signal upwards through a chain right the way up to the top. Only issue is, it makes a slightly annoying noise. Now this one is exactly the same, except we've swapped out the dropper for a hopper, and that means that it's completely silent, it's just quite a bit more expensive. Now, if you want a redstone line that runs directly upwards that doesn't power anything directly next to it, then you can use a system like this. We've gotten rid of the blocks so that it can't interact with any of the things around it. Instead, we just have an observer, which powers the hopper, which then detects the update and powers the next hopper and so on and so forth. And as you can see, that runs up directly next to pistons, redstone lines, droppers and everything like that, and it doesn't affect them. You wouldn't be able to achieve that with a redstone torch line. And the best news is it works vertically downwards as well. And it's a little bit cheaper, and it's a little bit faster. As you can see, when we hit the button, that extends and retracts really nice and quickly. And that's simply because we can fill in some of the gaps with redstone, stretching out the distance between our observer. In fact, this technique is so powerful that we can use it to create things like this. Big, shielded off redstone pipelines that kind of wind their way around here and then go up, down, across the bottom, round the top, twist around, pretty much do everything. And as you can see, it's still all fully functional. It is a tiny bit slow because of course each one of these observers means 1 tick of delay, but it does work. And the best news is that these two redstone lines wouldn't interact with one another. So if we power this redstone line, that won't affect anything. And then if we power this redstone line, that won't affect that one. You can run redstone wires directly next to one another. Now that's pretty cool. Anyway, moving on from spaghetti redstone wiring, I think we all know that observers give a little redstone pulse when they're moved, because of course they detect a block update. They've moved, that is the block update. Now this could be seen as unintended behavior, but honestly, it's so incredibly useful. For example, here is a 5x5 door that I recently designed. It is absolutely enormous and nowhere near as compact as pretty much everyone else's 5x5 doors, but it makes use of observers in a really cool way. When we hit this button, we should see that everything will begin to open up, and the way that those pistons extend, if you just about saw it, is by making use of the observers being pushed across and actually powering the pistons when they're right the way down here. I mean, these pistons get extended down to this block and they're still able to be powered because of course we can move these observers around, quickly powering the pistons. It's pretty cool stuff. Another frequent use of the fact that observers give a redstone output every time they move is of course the flying machine. Flying machines have got considerably simpler since the days where we just had redstone blocks. Now we can actually make two-way ones, we can make tiny little systems like this, and they just all come together much smoother and much faster. Going right the way back to basics now, observers give redstone outputs when they receive redstone updates, which means they give an output when redstone is turned on in front of them, and also when it's turned off in front of them. Now this makes them very good and very compact dual-edge monostable circuits, which is a lot more interesting than it sounds. So here, for example, we've got two different types of double piston extender, a button operated one and a lever operated one. And the thing that's similar about them is they're both incredibly small, about as small as they can come, but more importantly, they make use of observers to function. So for example, this one over here has got two observers involved, and it works absolutely perfectly. Now, the way that it's working is this button powers these two back pistons right here. We then send a redstone signal through into this hopper, which powers the hopper, which that observer then detects that update, which then powers the pistons that will now be in this position, leaving out the blocks. Then these pistons will retract, and then 1 tick later, this repeater will unpower, which will give an update through this observer, powering these pistons, which will cause them to spit out their little arms and try and retract the block, as you just saw right there. Perfect. This one works in a similar fashion, but has to be wired slightly differently. So what happens is this lever right here powers this block. Then 2 ticks later, this redstone powers this block, meaning this piston extends, pushing these pistons underneath this block, which is already powered, meaning they both extend like that. Then on the retraction, obviously these pistons retract first because these are the first things to get unpowered, and then 2 ticks later, these pistons retract, pulling these pistons back to this block, but then on that 2 ticks as well, the observer detects an update from this repeater saying it's been unpowered, which means that it actually gives a redstone output into these pistons, causing them to extend and then quickly retract. Just like that. Really nice and fast. This is the last double piston extender, I promise, but not only can you place redstone on top of observers, you can also place observers on top of redstone, and it's just as useful. For example, this is a flush with the floor double piston extender that makes use of a repeater, 1 piece of redstone dust, and 1 observer. I mean, back in the day, like even 2 years ago, double piston extenders were about 4 times the size of this thing. He's completely changed the game. I feel like it's worth mentioning that these observers detecting redstone updates and giving redstone outputs is useful for more than just double piston extenders. It just felt like a good way of showing it off. For those of you who don't know, observers can make some pretty sweet redstone clocks. All we have to do is power this redstone line, then unpower it, and as you can see, this thing is now constantly updating and powering itself, giving us a really nice fast redstone circuit. Now this in itself is pretty useful, but I also thought I'd try it out with some automatic dropper circuits. So for example, here is our dropper, and if we place some items on the inside, you can see that it activates and it spits out its items incredibly quickly. Now this is considerably smaller than most other designs, in fact all the other designs that I've seen, and it works a lot faster as well. But if you need it for an item elevator, then you can't have the observer on top. So I've had to do some fiddling, and I've ended up with this thing. Once again, making use of an observer, and if we just place some items inside this chest, they will make their way into the dropper, and then make their way up into the item elevator. Once again, smaller than any other designs, and it seems to work perfectly and reliably. And finally, to round things up on today's video, observers are quite good at detecting, well, block updates. Like, for example, sugarcane growing. They make for very easy and simple to build automatic farms. Pretty much what they were added into the game for. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. I hope you enjoyed this little video. If you did, please hit that like button. And if you really loved it, then make sure to subscribe. But thanks for watching, guys. This has been Mumbo, and I'm out. I'll see you later. And as per usual, check out the latest film on the filming channel. There'll be a link on the end screen.